Wait. Before anything else moves, ask yourself why this message found you today. It didn't appear while you were numb, distracted, or settled. It found you now, when something new is knocking on your heart. Someone younger wants you. Their presence feels refreshing, almost unreal, like a spark you forgot you could feel. And the moment that spark lit, heaven leaned in. Not to scare you. Not to stop you. But to steady you. Don't move yet. Don't rush where your spirit is asking you to pause. This is not entertainment. This is intervention. Your life just arrived at a spiritual doorway, and what you do next will echo. There is a reason this younger soul appeared exactly when your confidence was waking up again. A reason their attention landed when you finally started remembering your worth. A reason their energy feels like revival, not routine. You thought this kind of interest was behind you, didn't you? You thought desire had quietly exited your story. Yet here it is, breathing again. And God is not saying, run. God is whispering, look deeper. Because not everything thrilling is trustworthy. Not everything validating is valuable. Some things are meant to awaken you, not accompany you. And you feel it, don't you? That subtle tension between excitement and clarity, desire and direction, fantasy and future alignment. That tension is not fear. It's discernment. Slow down. You don't need to deny what you feel. Attraction is not a sin. Curiosity is not a mistake. But alignment is not built on adrenaline. And God is protecting you from entering something that looks like comfort but costs like chaos. So ask this without flinching: are you drawn to them, or to the way they make you feel about yourself? Be honest. One is connection. The other is validation. Validation sparks quickly. Connection holds over time. Attraction is easy. Alignment is earned. And God is not interested in temporary highs, He is interested in the future you prayed for when no one was watching. Exhale. You don't need to chase, prove, impress, or perform. If this connection is real, it will not rush your spirit or negotiate your standards. It will meet you where your growth lives. It will calm you where confusion used to live. The right connection doesn't demand access, it earns it. It doesn't pressure your boundaries, it respects them. And I need you to hear this with your whole chest: if something is truly from God, you won't have to abandon yourself to keep it. You won't have to shrink your maturity to be understood. You won't have to babysit someone's emotional development while sacrificing your own. So now your test begins, not of emotion, but of evolution. God is watching how you choose when something feels good before it feels right. He is watching if you will protect the healed parts of you instead of betraying them for attention. You didn't survive what you survived just to repeat it with better lighting and younger energy. You didn't outgrow cycles to decorate new ones. You didn't rebuild peace just to hand it over to someone who hasn't learned how to hold it. This moment is a check-in with your future. And listen, Your future is not intimidated by patience. What is meant for you will stay, even if you slow down. What is not meant for you will slip, even if you chase it. Uncertainty is not a punishment, it is a filter. Pay attention to what falls through. If your heart is nodding right now, stay. If your spirit is leaning forward, stay. You're not at the answer yet, this is only the first doorway. But before we walk deeper, breathe. You don't need to decide today. You just need to discern. And if this message is waking something in you right now, like a knowing, like a shiver, like a quiet yes, then don't disappear. Stay with this. God is mid-sentence. Before you scroll, prove to heaven you're listening. Take a second. Like this. Save this. Subscribe so you don't lose what's meant to guide you next. Not for numbers. Not for hype. For alignment. Because part 2 will speak exactly to the question forming in your chest right now. Don't move. The next words matter. Listen carefully now, because the real conflict isn't between you and this younger person. The conflict is between who you used to be and who you refuse to be again. That's the tension you feel in your chest, the tug-of-war between the version of you that's settled for attention and the version of you that demands alignment. You're not confused, you're evolving. Confusion happens in the mind. Evolution happens in the soul. And what you're experiencing right now? That pull, that pause, that inner voice saying, slow down, that is not hesitation. That is heaven protecting something that hasn't fully blossomed yet. You. Your healed self. Your wiser self. Your prayed for future self. So don't rush. Rushing is how old cycles return wearing new faces. Rushing is how red flags look like destiny. Rushing is how lessons repeat. God is not blocking you from love. He's blocking you from losing yourself inside of it. Read that again if it stings. Not every spark deserves to become a fire. Some sparks are meant to warm you, not consume you. And some people are meant to touch your heart briefly just so you remember it still works, but they were never meant to live there. Attraction starts chapters. Discernment decides if they continue. Now breathe because we're going deeper. The younger person's interest might feel like validation, and in many ways, it is. It is proof that you are still seen, still desired, still wanted. That is a gift. But here's the trap the ego sets. The moment validation feels like oxygen, we start negotiating our boundaries to keep it. That's where relationships start costing too much. Not financially, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. The price for feeling wanted should never be betraying your wisdom. And God is standing between you and that price saying, wait. Look. Notice. Notice how this connection makes you feel in your quiet moments. Not the exciting ones. Not the flattering ones. The quiet ones. When the messages stop. When the attention pauses. When the rush settles. Does the connection leave you peaceful or uneasy? Do you feel safe or suspended? Does it feel like clarity or like waiting for shoes to drop? These questions are not fear-based. They are clarity-based. You are not being asked to overthink. You are being asked to observe. There is a difference. Because if someone is truly aligned with you, you will not feel like you are always translating your soul into smaller language so they can understand. Alignment understands without explanation. Alignment supports without convincing. Alignment doesn't require you to dilute your maturity so someone else can feel comfortable. And here's the hard truth most hearts avoid: chemistry does not equal compatibility. Interest does not equal intention. Desire does not equal direction. Many people can want you. Few can walk with you. You used to choose people based on how they made you feel in the moment. Now God is teaching you to choose based on how they will hold you in the future. That is growth. That is healing. That is emotional graduation. And yes, graduation feels like loss when you're used to repeating classes. Don't confuse emotional growth with emotional coldness. You are not hard to reach now, you are harder to access. There's a difference. One is a wall. The other is a standard. And standards filter what walls used to block. So here's what God is offering you, not an answer, but a mirror. Hold this connection up to it. Are they drawn to your soul or to the benefits of being near someone who has learned what they haven't yet? Do they want partnership or guidance? Do they want equality or a parent with romantic labels? That might feel harsh, but illusions always break softer when truth arrives early. It is better to disappoint someone than to abandon yourself. Self-betrayal is the most expensive relationship you will ever be in. If you're still here, it means this message is talking to the part of you that refuses to repeat mistakes. So stay. Don't run. Don't scroll. Your spirit asked for this clarity. And yes, I'll say it again because it matters. God is not trying to take love from you. God is trying to teach you how to receive love that won't cost you peace to keep. Before you go to part 3, anchor this inside yourself. Like this. Save it. Subscribe so you don't lose the clarity you just gained. Not for hype. Not for algorithm. For alignment. Because the next section reveals the truth you already feel rising in your chest. If you're ready, say it with me silently: I choose alignment over attention. Now come with me. You feel it, don't you? That quiet shift happening inside you. Not dramatic, not loud, just a subtle awareness rising like a tide. The younger person's interest awakened something, but now something deeper is awakening too: your clarity. Your spirit is finally speaking louder than your loneliness. And that is where everything changes. Because attraction may open the door, but awareness decides if you walk through it. You are no longer choosing based on who reaches for you. You are choosing based on who can meet you. That difference is evolution. And evolution always tests what you used to settle for. Let's go further. The danger is not that this younger person is wrong for you. The danger is that they might be almost right. Almost is where most heartbreak lives. Almost is where potential seduces purpose. Almost is where the ego says, just try, while the soul whispers, be careful. You're not being dramatic for questioning the alignment, you're being responsible. Because relationships don't fail at the beginning. They fail where the differences grow heavier than the attraction that tried to cover them. And God is trying to stop you from mistaking chemistry for confirmation. Chemistry is a feeling. Confirmation is a direction. One sparkles. The other anchors. So ask yourself, with honesty instead of defense, does this connection feed your future or just your feelings? Feelings are loud. Futures are quiet. Feelings pull. Futures guide. When someone is aligned with you, they don't just make you feel wanted, they make you feel understood. They don't just want to be near you, they know how to walk beside you. They don't just admire your strength, they know how to hold their own so you're not carrying both of you. Attraction gives butterflies. Alignment gives rest. Which one do you feel more? You spent years learning painful lessons, lessons paid for with tears, disappointment, and silence you had to survive alone. Don't disrespect the version of you who crawled out of those seasons by choosing someone who reminds you of who you used to be. You didn't outgrow the wrong rooms just to enter new ones with better lighting. You didn't heal just to prove you could still get attention. You healed to prove you could choose differently. Read that again. You healed to choose differently. If your heart sinks a little when you hear that, good. That means truth is landing. This is where God's voice starts sounding like intuition. Where warnings feel like wisdom instead of fear. Where restraint feels like protection instead of loss. You are not losing an opportunity, you are learning to measure it. And if someone is meant for you, they will not collapse under that measurement. They will rise to match it. That is how you'll know. Not by how intensely they want you, but by how steadily they can stand with you. Desire says, come closer. Readiness says, I'm here already. And listen, don't romanticize the struggle. If someone makes you feel like you have to make it work before anything has even begun, that is not love, that is labor. Love is not an audition. Commitment is not a performance. Peace is not proof of weakness, it is evidence of alignment. God is not sending you someone to remind you of old wounds disguised as new beginnings. What is meant for you will not confuse your spirit and calm your loneliness at the same time. Confusion and comfort rarely come from the same source. If you are torn right now, let this guide you. Peace is the voice of alignment. Pressure is the voice of impulse. Peace expands. Pressure shrinks. Peace allows. Pressure demands. Peace waits. Pressure rushes. You know which one you've been feeling. Stop pretending you don't. And now I'll say what you haven't admitted yet. Part of you likes the attention. But a deeper part of you already knows it may not be a destination. It might just be a reminder. A mirror. A wake-up call from heaven saying, see? You are still wanted. But don't confuse being wanted with being kept. That is the test. Not of love, of identity. You are not choosing between two people. You are choosing between two versions of yourself, the one who settles for spark, or the one who waits for flame. If this message is pressing into something real inside you, good. That pressure is transformation. Stay with it. Don't run back to comfort just because clarity is uncomfortable. Growth always feels like loss until the gain arrives. Before we continue, anchor this moment so the algorithm doesn't bury what your spirit needed. Like. Save. Subscribe. Not for me, for you. For the version of you that refuses to repeat lessons. Here's the truth most people never admit out loud. Sometimes the hardest part isn't choosing between right and wrong. It's choosing between almost right and truly aligned. The younger person's interest might feel like a doorway, but a doorway is not proof of destiny. God opens some doors to show you you're still desired. He opens others to show you where not to settle. Discernment is knowing the difference. And you feel that difference rising inside you right now. Not panic. Not fear. Just a quiet awareness that says, this could become something, but should it? That question is the beginning of wisdom. You're not battling temptation, you're battling repetition. The repetition of patterns you've lived before. The repetition of relationships where you held the emotional weight while the other person borrowed your stability. The repetition of thinking that attention equals commitment, that chemistry equals compatibility, that desire equals direction. But now? Your soul knows better. And once the soul knows, it refuses to return to what almost destroyed it. That's why this message feels like pressure, because it's touching the place where your old habits and your new standards collide. So pause and pay attention to how your body responds. Not your fantasies, your body. When you imagine this connection continuing, do you feel grounded or suspended? Expanded or compressed? Safe or braced? The body knows what the heart lies about. The spirit knows what the mind rationalizes. God speaks in those signals. He speaks in the tightening in your chest when something isn't right. He speaks in the ease you feel when it is. He speaks in the way your peace either grows or erodes around someone. When God is in something, your peace deepens. When God is warning you, your peace flickers. If you're honest, you already know which one this feels like. And hear this without defensiveness. Attention is not investment. Compliments are not consistency. Presence is not partnership. Someone can want you without being ready for you. Someone can desire you without being equipped for what your soul requires. That doesn't make them the villain and you the saint. It just means you speak fluent responsibility while they're still learning the alphabet of accountability. Love isn't built when one person leads and the other clings. It's built when two people walk at the same pace, even if slowly. You don't need to punish the younger person for not being further along. But you also don't need to punish yourself by shrinking to match their stage. Growth has moved you forward. Don't walk backward just to feel wanted. If someone truly sees you, they won't be intimidated by the depth you carry. They won't admire your stability and then ask you to dim it. They won't get close enough to taste your wisdom and then ask for the flavor without the responsibility. Real connection doesn't ask you to lower yourself so someone else can reach. It teaches them how to rise. Listen, God is not asking you to reject the possibility of love. He's asking you to reject the illusion of convenience. Convenient love comes fast and dies faster. Aligned love comes slowly and stays. Convenient love is loud at first and silent later. Aligned love is steady from start to finish. Convenient love is built on how someone feels in the moment. Aligned love is built on who someone becomes over time. If this person is meant for you, they will grow into the space your soul occupies, not drag you into a smaller one to make it easier. So don't rush a label just to soothe uncertainty. Don't offer a commitment just to avoid disappointing someone. Don't create a future with someone who has not shown they're building one with you. Your standards are not a burden, they are a boundary. And boundaries don't push love away, they protect it until the right person arrives. If someone is truly meant to stay, they will not be scared of your pace. They will not resent your clarity. They will not treat your boundaries like obstacles, they will treat them like instructions on how to hold you with care. If your heart feels heavy reading this, it's because a decision is forming in the background of your spirit. Not a final one. A foundational one. The decision to no longer choose based on who reaches for you, but based on who is ready to stand beside you. That choice is sacred. That choice is the beginning of alignment. And alignment is where destiny enters. Before we step into the final message, pause. Breathe. Let this land. If this stirred something in you, don't let it disappear into the scroll. Like this. Save this. Subscribe. Not for vanity. For certainty. For the guidance you asked God for. When you're ready, whisper in your mind. I refuse to abandon myself to feel chosen. This is where everything turns. Not in the connection itself, but in you. The younger person's presence may remain. The attraction may not disappear. The curiosity might still feel alive. But now you are no longer responding from hunger, you are responding from awareness. And awareness changes the entire story. Because once you see with clarity, you can't go back to choosing with confusion. You can visit the past in memory, but you can't live there anymore. Your spirit simply won't let you. It knows too much now. It has seen what misalignment costs. It has felt what premature choices take. And God refuses to let you return to the version of you who abandoned yourself to feel chosen. So here is what happens next, not a command, but a calibration. You are being recalibrated to your worth. Not the worth others assigned to you. The worth God placed in you. The worth life tried to bury. The worth pain tried to question. The worth loneliness tried to negotiate. That worth has a voice, and it is finally speaking, I will not hand my peace to what cannot hold it. Say that inside yourself. Whisper it. Let it echo. Because every time you say it, you close a door that trauma once left open. You don't need to run from this younger connection. You don't need to demonize it. You don't need to over-explain your perspective. You only need to watch what happens when you stop performing the version of you that other people prefer. Watch what happens when you stop apologizing for standards that protect your spirit. Watch what happens when you stop shrinking to be understood. Some people will step forward with clarity. Others will step away in confusion. Both responses are answers. God speaks through both. If the younger person can rise with you, they will. If they can't, they won't. You don't have to force fate. You don't have to negotiate destiny. You don't have to drag someone into a future they haven't built themselves to occupy. The right person won't need a tutorial on how to love you. They'll recognize it. They'll feel it. They'll match it. They will see the road ahead and say, I'm willing to grow to meet you there. That is partnership. Anything less is babysitting emotion and calling it love. Hear this, you are not difficult. You are specific. You are not asking for too much. You are asking for what matches you. You are not guarded. You are guided. Standards are not walls. They are gates, and not everyone gets a key. Love that is meant for you will not panic at the gate. It will knock with respect. It will wait. It will prepare itself. It will say, I am becoming who this bond requires. That is what alignment sounds like. So if you choose to continue exploring this connection, do it gently. Do it slowly. Do it soberly. Watch patterns, not promises. Watch effort, not emotion. Watch how they act when your boundaries appear. People do not reveal themselves in their desire, they reveal themselves in their response to limits. When someone respects your limits, they respect your soul. When they resist them, they reveal their intention. And if you choose to step away, do not apologize for saving yourself. Do not call it fear. Call it discernment. Do not call it coldness. Call it clarity. Do not call it rejection. Call it redirection. God doesn't always close doors. Sometimes He just stops you from walking through the wrong ones. Now breathe. Something in you has shifted permanently. You are no longer waiting to be chosen like a prize. You are choosing like a partner. You are no longer hoping someone sees your worth. You are evaluating if they can hold it. This is where heartbreak stops repeating. This is where identity replaces insecurity. This is where destiny replaces distraction. Before you leave, do not rush away from what woke you up. If this message spoke to something real, hold it with intention. Like, save, subscribe. Not because I need it, because you do. Because the algorithm is not your enemy, losing alignment is. Let this message stay within reach for the moments you might forget your strength. Now repeat these words in your mind like a vow between you and your future. I do not chase. I do not settle. I do not negotiate my peace. I choose what chooses me with clarity, not craving. You are ready now. Go forward with wisdom. And remember, not everything that wants you is meant to keep you. But what is meant to keep you will meet you. And it will not let go.